Okay, before we begin this section, I want to look at another quick case study. I want you to watch this video and then we'll talk about it when we're done. What do you notice about Brian Williams and Larry David?
Neighborhood. We can't even film in that neighborhood anymore.
It's already been reported publicly that this season, for at least part of the season, you moved back to New York.
Yeah.
May I ask what motivated that move from California?
Can I talk a little with my glasses off like you?
Aren't these helpful? Well, I don't like to wear them all the time. I can't read without them. It is it's a very useful affectation. I've said before, I don't have a college degree, and yet with these, I get mistaken like that for an Ivy League graduate.
And there's something in
You know
this
what?
season.
People think I'm 10 times smarter than I am because I wear glasses. I am so stupid. It's unbelievable.
A plot line which comes up this season, I might add. So I'm taking them off.
Yes.
And I'm going to put them back on to read.
Wait,
I don't
go
mean
back
to
and forth. Do what
gesticulate
you
with
need to
them.
do.
I'm
Yeah.
not William F. Buckley.
See,
I'm
now-
as dumb as this tabletop.
Now I
right here.
feel, now I feel bad for you because you'll be completely self-conscious about
Of course.
it.
And
You
he's
can't just figure do
basically
it the way you normally do it. So I'm
ruined the
seeing
night
a
for me.
false Brian
Yep.
Williams, and that disappoints me.
Right, and see what I'm doing now? The
Yeah.
twirl, which I also tend to do when I talk. I'm doing the twirl. Which reminds me, you name everything. I mean, thank God for modern conversation that we have. Motivated that move from California.
Can I talk a little with my glasses off like you?
Okay, let's have a look at what's going on here. Brian Williams is doing his best to run this interview with 5 comedians, and they're all out to get him, no doubt about it. So he's nervous to begin with. He's trying his best to run through the interview and remain calm and maybe throw in a few jokes here and there, but very much he's nervous. He's just trying to keep his composure. And so he's not really thinking about what he's doing with his glasses. He's just doing what he always does. And in this sense, you can observe some true behavior. He's talking to Larry David, and he's interested in seeing Larry as clearly as possible, so he's removed his glasses, indicating that, well, he doesn't prefer his glasses to look at Larry. And so he's holding them. And you can see, as he's holding them, you can see through that left lens that it's magnifying his shirt somewhat, indicating a convex lens, a plus power lens, and so he needs that plus power boost to see up close. This may be age-related, but it may also be some natural hyperopia, some astigmatism. Either way, the combined effect of things is that he needs his glasses for reading. He's waving them around only because he's holding them, and he likes to gesticulate. He's not the only one who likes to gesticulate, but in this sense, he's waving his glasses around, and this captures Larry's attention.
Motivated that move from California.
Can I talk a little with my glasses off like you?
Aren't these helpful?
And you notice immediately that Brian is suddenly uncomfortable. He's clenching his jaw a little bit. He's smiling, but he's a little uncomfortable. Larry's picking on him because of his eyesight, effectively, because of his glasses.
Well, I don't like to wear them all the time. I can't read without them.
I can't read without them. So he's explaining himself.
It's a very useful affectation. I've said before, I don't have a college degree, and yet with these, I get mistaken like that for an Ivy League graduate.
And there's
And so like that, I get mistaken for an Ivy League graduate simply because I'm wearing glasses. The association is that glasses seem to confer intelligence or an experience with higher learning.
You know what? People think I'm 10 times smarter than I am because I wear glasses. I am so stupid. It's unbelievable.
A plot line which comes up this season, I might add.
And so exactly the same thing. Larry is reflecting that association of great intellect or higher learning with wearing of glasses. And so you'll notice also that Larry isn't removing his glasses. If you look at the side or the edge of his lens and the temple, you'll see that he's wearing a minifying lens. And so it's a concave lens, a negative power lens. Larry's a nearsighted fellow, and likely about equivalently nearsighted left and right. And so with this, he doesn't have any desire to take his glasses off. But in both cases, they agree that glasses are associated with higher learning, and the research does show that with advanced learning, there seems to be a trend towards nearsightedness, that is to say, exposure to limited lighting, close proximity learning for extended hours under great stress tends to lead to more of a myopic posture.
So I'm taking them off.
Yes.
And I'm going to put them back on to read. I
Go
don't mean
back
to
and forth. Do what you
gesticulate
need
with
to
them.
do.
I'm
Yeah.
not William F. Buckley.
See,
I'm
now-
as dumb as this tabletop.
Now I feel.
And so now they're arguing about what the glasses mean, and if I don't really want to wear my glasses, or if I do wear my glasses, maybe I'm not as intelligent as I'm trying to show with them on. It gets complicated. It's a funny social dance that they're doing here.
Now I feel bad for you because you'll be completely self-conscious about
Of course.
it.
And he's
And just because you're
basically
doing the way you
ruined,
normally do it. So
ruined
I'm
the
seeing
night
a
for me.
false Brian
Yep.
Williams, and that disappoints me.
Right. And see what I'm doing?
And it's interesting that Jeff Garlin is picking up on this, that there's a social aspect to this now that Brian is self-conscious about his glasses, that he's going to behave differently and possibly even take a hit in performance because he's feeling self-conscious. Maybe he won't put them on, or he won't take them off when he should, and it sets him off of his pace. It's good that Jeff picks up on this, and it's a broadly important topic. That is to say that the social stigma associated with glasses, one way or the other, whether it's associated with intellect or not, is a problem. We need to simply break down those barriers and have people wear their glasses if they need to wear their glasses. It's a great equalizing force, and people shouldn't be taunted or teased about it. It's kind of remarkable to see this discussion happening nowadays, but trust Larry David to bring this up.
Now, the twirl, which I also tend to do when I talk. I'm doing the twirl. Which reminds me, you name everything. I mean, thank God for modern conversation.
And so he deflects. Good for you, Brian. If you look at his posture, he seems a lot more tense now, and I hope he relaxes, and certainly he does later on in the interview. They let up on him a little bit, but it's interesting that they also agree to just move on because it's obvious that they've made him kind of uncomfortable now. And you'll watch, if you do watch this interview, you'll see that Larry and Jeff never take their glasses off. Now, with respect to Cheryl Hines and Susie Essman, what's going on there? As a rule, and this is anecdotal, but I think it will also be borne out in research, that women tend to be a little more self-conscious about eyewear in that it reflects maybe age. With respect to the guys, I don't think they care as much. They don't mind wearing glasses. It's less of a hassle. My best guess is that the women have had LASIK or they're wearing contacts, perhaps multifocal contacts. But this is not uncommon for more men to be referring to glasses than women. In this case, they're definitely at an advantage. The panelists are at an advantage in that they don't need to read, and so there's other ways around it. Jeff and Larry could also be wearing contacts for that matter. Brian prefers to not, and indeed my experiences with multifocal contact lenses, if you're wearing those and you need to do an interview, the eyesight, the vision is not going to be as nice as you'll get with a proper optic. He needs a proper mid-range progressive lens to give him clear sight of his guests, but also a nice view of his pad, so that he doesn't have to worry about going back and forth with his vision or taking his lenses off at that point. He could just leave them on and everything would be within range.